In section 3, we're doing some slope action. All right, we did two things in this. There's going to be two goals, two learning goals for this. First one is to find the slope of a line. All right, normally I'm going to give you 2 points. You're going to read the graph or something like that to find the slope or the rate of change of a line. All right, the second thing is I'm going to have you learn how to graph a line given its slope and a point on it. All right, so I'm going to give you the slope. I'm going to give you a point. You got to be able to graph it. All right, so basically how to employ a rate of change with slope on a line. Okay, so all the slope is just steepness of a path of a line. Okay, so you might know it as rise over run. All right, that's often a term use. Okay, it's going to be the change in y over the change in x. Okay, you might also see change in y over change in x written like this. That delta, the triangle, oh, that's 2 y's. That triangle is a Greek letter delta, which signifies change in math. Okay, so that's what it is, and m is the variable we always use for slope. Okay, so we have a couple different ways that you could see slope. Okay, one way is standard form. We already talked about standard form, ax plus by equals c. For this, you could, of course, solve for y, get it by itself, turn it into slope-intercept form, and you could find the slope that way. Or you could just know that the slope is negative a over b. Okay, so this is just a quicker way to figure out slope for standard form. And for slope-intercept form, it's really nicely done for you. M, or the slope, is just the coefficient in front of your x. Now, a horizontal slope, so y equals graph. Remember, let's review that. Y equals something, a. Right? The slope is always 0. Okay, and a vertical slope, so that's an x equals b type graph, the slope is undefined. Okay, so no slope for a vertical graph, so 0 slope for horizontal graph. Point slope form is the third way that we know to write a linear equation. Okay, it's y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, so this y1, x1, it's a little bit weird, is just a point. It's just any point on the graph, so this could look a lot of different ways for any line. All right, m is still the slope, and x and y are your variables. Find some slopes. I'm probably not going to do all of these because that's a lot, but you could do. Okay, so remember that it's the change in y over change in x. So one way to make sure you don't mess this up if you struggle with the slope, right? Label these. Call one x1, call one x. Oh, shoot. Call one point the 1 point, right? So you have x1, y1, and the other one's going to be x2, y2. Okay, this way you don't mess this up, because you're using the equation y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The only way you can mess this up is by changing your 2's and your 1's. That's really the only way to mess this up. Okay, so y2 is 5, y1 is negative 4, so minus negative 4 is plus 4. And x2 is negative 4 minus 5. So I've got 9 over negative 9 equals negative 1. Number 2. Slope is 7 minus 4 over 2 minus 2. 7 over 0, or sorry, 3 over 0, right, is what you're going to get. The problem is you can't have a 0 in the denominator. If you have a 0 in the numerator, that's fine, it's just 0. But you can't have a 0 in the denominator. What that's going to do is that's going to tell us it doesn't exist, so there's no slope or it's undefined. Number 3. M equals 6 minus 4 over 5 plus 1. Which is 2 over 6, which reduces to 1/3. And the last one here, m equals 2 minus 2 over negative 5 minus 5, 0 over 10. 0 on top just means that the slope is 0. Okay, I did do them all. Okay, find the slope of the line. Okay, so I've got some standard form here. I've got some not standard form here. We're just going to figure them all out. So the first one is in standard form, right? The coefficient in front of the x's, our a is 1, and our b is negative 1. So remember that the slope is negative a over b. Okay, so that's negative 1 over negative 1, which is just 1. So the slope there is 1. Pretty exciting. And 6, same idea. You're in standard form again. M equals negative a over b, negative 2/3. Super, super easy. Number 3, all right, that's not standard form, so we need to subtract x's. right, to try to get in the standard form. Those cancel out. Those also cancel out. We've got y equals negative 7. Remember, y equals negative 7 is a horizontal line, and horizontal lines have a slope of 0. Last one, standard form again. However, got a sneaky a in there. Okay, so my a, we'll get negative a over a, right? Well, a over a is just 1, so the answer is just negative 1. Looks tricky because of the extra variables. It's not so bad. Number 9, we're going to write the slope, write the equation of the line that passes through negative 1, negative 4, and has a slope of 5/3. Okay, so I've got y equals mx plus b. All right, I have a y is here, x, m, I gotta find b. So negative 4 equals 5/3 times negative 1 plus b. Okay, so I need to do some fractions adding. So I've got negative 4 equals negative 5/3 plus b, and b equals negative 4 plus 5/3. Well, negative 4 is a common denominator. It's going to be negative 12/3 plus 5/3 is negative 7/3. Okay, so negative 7/3 is my b. So the equation is y equals 5/3 x minus 7/3. Bam. Last problem. Find the value of k in a line that has a slope of 2, passes through points 2k, 3, and 1k. So, for this one, we're going to use our slope formula because we have 2 points, right? We have 2 points. M equals, remember, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, I can write that out. Now I know that m is 2. y2, I'm going to call k. y1 is 3. That's point 1, that's point 2. And the x-coordinate of point 2 is 1 minus 2k. Now, it's a little bit more complicated equation, but we can still solve it. Remember, if you ever have a variable in the denominator, okay, don't deal with it. Don't mess with it, okay? Just multiply both sides by that denominator to get rid of it. So 1 minus 2k multiplied by both sides. Okay, so these will cancel each other out. Distribute my 2 over there. I've got 2 minus 4k equals k minus 3. Now we can do some solving. Okay, so let's subtract the k over. We'll have negative 5k equals negative 5. Divided by negative 5, k equals 1. And I think that's it.